Hi, we got.
Hey.
Hi, every guys. Hi, everybody. Bloopers.
We haven't had one of them for ages.
I got all tongue-tied then. Hi, everyone.
No, you can't do that. Compose, right?
We're not perfect. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Welcome to another episode of the Rising Growing Together. Oh God, yeah, that's all flustered me there.
Hi,
now.
guys.
Hi guys. Cool. How have you been?
I'm good. First week back.
Yeah.
Full week back.
Yeah. It started off nice and slow, and then we had an accident in the week. Yeah, like child-related accident. So I'm doing a workshop. I've got 4 or 5 people on the call. It's 5 minutes to spare before straight back to back into another workshop with another 4 or 5 people training. And Liam runs up to the door, which is obviously glass, so I can see straight through it, flapping, Hayden in his arms, a tea towel, and like shouting at me, and then like ran away again. So I was like, just give me a second, guys. Jumped up and ran out, and he was like, we've got to go to the hospital. I was like, ran back in. I was like, guys, I've got to go. Ended the call, sent a quick message to the other ones like, guys, I have to rearrange the next call. Ran into the house, blood everywhere.
Oh,
like,
my God.
He's tripped, smashed his mouth on the table that he cut his chin on like a week ago. So I'm definitely gonna have to get rid of this table. But obviously without putting his hands down, so his whole face has gone in, but it smashed the outside, but his tooth has gone through his lip on the inside. So it's just like blood all over the floor. This tea towel's covered in blood. He's covered in blood.
Yeah.
So Liam's like holding down I'm glad I wasn't there when it actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I'd got there, we were like, I was grabbing a bag, put my shoes on, run into the car. Kayson's like run with Liam, and then we're by the car, and I was like, right, it's like, how bad is it? Because I hadn't even seen it, and he was trying to look, and Hayden's crying, and but chaos for 5 minutes, but then
what feels like forever.
But there's not really. I knew straight away, and even Liam said it. There's not much they can do, like, unless his lip is completely like flapping. They won't stitch it.
You just see basically it was more just like a piss.
Yeah.
Than anything.
I mean, it was a massive lump. It's all purple. It's blood, but the blood slowed down now because he's held pressure on it. And like you say, there's not much they can do about it unless if it's gaping, they will stitch it. But if not, it's fine. So we ended up just like you say, consoling him, and he had not long. Was that day? Oh yeah. No, it was the day after. So the day after, then he went to nursery, and then they gave me a phone call saying he's got a temperature, so I had to pick him up. So he's like got a boshed up lip. That was it. He'd hit his head at nursery earlier that day, so he had a bruise on his head. Come home and smashed his mouth. The next day he's got a temperature. He's like full of cold, and he's all ill. But yeah, that was a bit frantic and chaotic. Like But then I didn't realise like there was blood all over the floor, and I'm trying to lock the patio door to like run out the house, and then Kayson's like he's gonna die, and I was like, Kayson, don't say that, like thinking that he's exaggerating or something. And then it was like I realised after talking to him, like he was really panicky. He saw blood. I think he actually genuinely thought he was gonna die. He was like, I thought at 1.5 he was gonna die. It's not a nice
experience.
Well, it's the first time Kayson's really seen like a lot of blood. And didn't realise like a cut can bleed like that.
Well, in this area as well. More.
So we ended up having to like console Kayson, console Hayden, stop them both crying. And oh God, yeah. But no, that was a bit of a
take it from someone who's had all my 3.
Well, this is the first big accident. Kayson never had any of those.
Exactly.
So like
your one is very much like all my 3. Like Kayson's quite chill, and he's never really took it that far.
The odd bump, but not actually had a panic.
Already you can see in Hayden that he's like my lot. I've been to A&E all 3 of my stitches, so not in my presence it didn't happen. However, the same thing, other children crying and consoling them and and but
especially like meeting.
Our first full week. We made it.
We made it through the week.
Children are still alive.
Yeah. Back to hobbies, all that chaos. And we've got a big lip, but we made it through.
Bless him. At least his teeth are okay.
Yeah. They look okay. Yeah. That was the next thing, because like sometimes they die, don't they? They go grey and stuff. So we'll see. But no, touch wood. he was all right in the end.
Another experience to the bag.
Yeah.
Of motherhood, parenthood.
Yes. Yeah.
Siblinghood.
Yeah. Oh God. But no, he's all good. But yeah.
Nothing's really happened. That's basically probably my problem. Nothing's really happened. I was feeling, I get moments anyway, but like first, like full week back, I felt like I was behind. I don't know what by the way. So like, it was a bit like, I don't know if it's just, I'm not on much, but just society, social media or whatever, just the way January is, New Year and all that. I felt like, oh, I'm missing something. I need to be doing this. I need to be doing that. Or as much as like I said, I didn't have resolutions. I had, shit to get done kind of list thing and thinking I should have had it all done and I haven't done anything and, putting this pressure on myself. Until I see you, you didn't even have a diary for this year yet.
Exactly.
So I was like, I'm sweet. I'm absolutely fine.
I got my list.
Yeah,
I've got my diary.
I got my 2026 diary last year. I'm all right. But yeah, just having that feeling, I felt, just for a moment, I felt like, oh God, what's happening?
No, I think that's really typical this time of year, and I think a lot of people could probably relate to that. I even saw Kate Ferdinand come on and go like, this is, wasn't sure whether to post this, but I just feel like I've got a really bad January or December hangover in January, and it's not through like the drinking and the eating and the socializing, but just emotionally drained from it all. Had a lovely time because they've moved to Dubai and I think they went back to the UK. So just emotionally drained from just socializing, being around people, probably then having to say bye and go. And it's just a lot of pressure comes with December, even though it's lovely and even though we have lots of family time and there's still just a lot of pressure.
And like I say, for a lot of us, it's either the really busy time in work, if you're in retail, whatever that sort of thing, to that it's probably one of the longest times we all kind of get off together. In like a block, if you know what I mean. I think so anyway. I was thinking this
most
before.
People,
So then to then go back and this pressure, of it's 1st of January, go kind of thing. And it's not bad. I'm not saying it's not a bad thing, and it's a good incentive for some people to kick up the bum. But at the same time, I feel
I've been in my pajamas for 3 weeks.
Yeah, just chill out on me. I said this morning, just chill out on me a bit, you just want to. But it's good to have it, but don't also feel like it's the comparing. Probably it's the comparing of well, they're there or they're doing that and they've already achieved.
That's
this.
the only place that negative feeling comes from.
Yeah,
because you can have the feeling of I've not quite got through my to-do list and stuff, but it's when you're then comparing, well, she looks like she's got her shit together, and how can she be at work and doing all these things and then run a house and make the kids very healthy breakfast and like it's the comparing that then gives you that really shitty feeling that you end up with. And I think actually the December and January of all the months in the year is probably the worst for that, because you've got the pressure of new year, new me, whilst also having the highlight reel of everyone having these fantastic Christmases and presents and, immaculately dressed or like matching pajama, like there's a lot of pressure for Christmas.
There is.
With like the money that you spend and how you look and like I said, this highlight reel of how everyone's doing so amazing and time off and spending it doing this, that and the other.
But that's like you say, that's what
the highlight reel.
It's a clip.
Yeah.
It's literally that, and okay, what's done in between that would help that, but it's not always like that. It's not always what you see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can be like that. I'm not saying you can't, but don't put that pressure on yourself for looking at that and thinking, oh my God, I'm not there.
Yeah, no, I think it's natural that we all get that feeling, and it's when you're in that, it's sometimes hard to snap out of it. And I think sitting with that for too long isn't great, because you then just spiral into telling yourself everything about your life is shit.
Yeah.
When actually it could just be this one little thing, and actually then it's like, this is shit and that's shit and everything's rubbish and I'm like so behind and I want this and this, and then you just don't actually appreciate anything in your life.
A proper negative.
You do. You end up spiraling, and it can put you in a right funk if you sit there for too long.
Well, that was it. This is where I was at. I think of the balance of. I know we spoke on it before. Of, am I being lazy? Am I being lazy here? You know,
I think that's one thing that I think it's millennials, like our generation, struggle with, because I see it all the time. Maybe because I'm feeling it and it comes up on my algorithm. But like, am I resting or am I lazy?
Yeah.
And I think we struggle as a generation with resting. Yeah. And I think that is the biggest comparison with the next. Was it Gen Z is the next or something or whatever? And they're all very much about their mental health and like, oh yeah, no, and peace and boundaries.
That's where our Fridays off came from.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks, Gen Z. But we aren't like that. They do say that actually the worst generation is our generation, because our parents were in a slightly different like economic time where they could have one parent in the household working and still manage to do a lot of things, whereas we don't have, and we also don't have the village that surrounds like bringing kids up like our parents did. We do try to do it all ourselves, and I think that is what we spoke about, that work, that like mother load, of carrying everything yourself. But no, I think the comparison steals today's joy. Because you completely forget about appreciating anything that you've got going on. So I think, and I definitely do it. I'm definitely, not preaching that it doesn't affect me, because it absolutely does. Like you say, I go through waves of, I really appreciate my life. I'm very happy with everything. I'm going at my own pace. And then the next week it can be like, I should be having this right now and this, and why haven't this happened? And so like, I'm very much, like you say, it's a roller coaster. But I think there's definitely things we can do to help ourselves in those situations, because it's going to happen to all of us. I don't think you can avoid it. No. But you can help it.
Well, I know for me, when I feel like, generally, I can't, to be honest, and it's a general thing, is a list. Writing a list of what's going on? What do you need to get done? What's in a priority kind of thing? And what do you need to sort out first? Yeah. To then just breathe again, to carry on again, because you're not going to get all that done in one day. Yeah. But as you go through it, I also like just ticking it off. Yeah. It's nice, just a
little accomplishment.
Yeah. I'm like you said with your diary, because you're a pen and paper diary. That's me. I'm everything's pen and paper. Even when I go to the shop, my little list is on a little recycled, ripped up bit of paper. You know what I mean? Going to the shop. But yeah, mine's lists just to get it out on paper. Yeah. And then go through it and then it doesn't always feel so bad, because some of it I can't even deal with yet anyway.
But it's in your mind. Yes. So I think that is definitely a very big tip if you're not doing that already. Get it out your mind into paper. And like you say, prioritize it. It's exactly how I do it at work. Yeah. Like there's 1,000,001 things I want to do at work. We've got, loads of things that we have to do in order to hit numbers and do all of that. So we literally break it down, right? Here's everything. What needs to be done in January? Yeah. What can I put off till February? What am I not even going to look at till March, because I have to wait for another team to be available? And then all of a sudden it's like, okay. So yeah, even it's like you say, feeling pressure at work, but that. I've actually only got 4 things I need to focus on for the next week or 2. And the rest of it's written down, so I don't have to now keep it in my mind. And they do say that for people that struggle to fall asleep, because of worrying and overthinking and, your mind, so I've got the doctor's tomorrow and I've got to do this next week. And that, like, actually just having pen and paper by your bed and just brain dumping whatever you're thinking about on paper, it allows you to then relax, because you're not worried about forgetting it. Yeah. Because a lot of the time we do keep it in our mind.
There's nothing you can do with it. You're going to bed. Exactly. But like you say, just brain
dump it out. Yeah. Then they say that you can have a better sleep, and I know that has that. So
that's definitely something that I would do. Yeah. You know what I mean? To help me feel just again a little bit more on top, and I'm not pressured, and I'm all right. Yeah. I am gonna go do
I think what's hard is a lot of it is like just society pressure of like, oh, I should do things in this order, and by this age I should have had that by now, and I should have bought a house, and I should have met someone, I should be having kids, and all of those shoulda, woulda, coulda things.
You were saying that about society,
the generation, because we were brought up, you meet someone, you get married, you buy a house, you then have kids, and you do it by your 30, and then you have this little white picket fence life, and like that maybe suited the generation before, but we have so much more at our fingertips in terms of the internet, in terms of traveling. Like, we're in a different world, like a different economy. Like, you can't. And actually, I think what we need to do is, do I actually want that? And actually ask yourself, because a lot of the time, And I grew up doing this, like putting so much pressure on myself of, I have to pick the right, A levels, and then I have to pick the right university, and then I have to do this. And like, I've spent so many hours, wasted hours, probably have added up to weeks of my life wasted in stressing and worrying about stuff that actually a lot of the time it's people pleasing things that I don't even care about or that I've grown to realize aren't my priority, but they feel like I should do.
Well, what I find funny is that we usually end up comparing to people, like even if it's in a reel of this short clip or someone else's life, we usually compare it to something that's not even relevant to us.
Yeah, I think peeling back and actually ask yourself, what do you really care about? If you only want this thing to please your parents, scrap it. If you only want this thing so that you have status against other people, then by the time you actually get it done, it's going to be an empty feeling because it's not really what you want.
Exactly.
So really get clear on, I think, what you want is the first place, because sometimes we think we want it.
Yeah.
So many times I think I've wanted something and then I've got it and I'm like, well, that was a bit of a waste.
Yeah.
So get clear. But
sometimes also there can be experiences, like you say, a lesson learned kind of thing.
Sometimes you have to learn it the hard way.
It has to go that way. But write it, like you say, I said writing it down, and then you say actually looking and going, right, what is it that I want of this, and what's priority, and what's important,
and I think you need to,
and what's relevant to me.
And exactly. But also I think don't be hard on yourself. We're all in our own journey, our own time. There's nobody, even if they look like they've got the same situation as you, do not have the same situation as you.
Nobody.
So be real, and don't compare your day one to somebody's 10-year in business. I do that a lot. Like, looking at coaches. Well, why haven't I got that? Well, because they've done it for 15 years and I'm starting out. So like, and this was a bit of a mindset shift, which I think is another thing that can really help. Rather than look and be envious, like it's not a very nice feeling to sit in, like jealousy and envy. Switch that to be inspired. So if they've got that, what do they have that I actually want, and what can I replicate that they're doing? Right, well, I know that they post weekly on social media. Right, well, I should probably start doing that then, shouldn't I?
So you pick your positives, and that gives you a positive.
And be inspired by it, rather than have that horrible energy of like, and just because somebody else has it doesn't mean you can't have it. And I think we definitely live in a world like that. And this is why I'm so glad we've done these women events, because the women that we are surrounding ourselves with are women who, push each other and inspire each other. And just because you've had success doesn't mean I'm not going to. There's no shortage in success. In money, in, abundance, in whatever. Like, I can have just as much as you, if not more, and at different times. Like, we can celebrate each other, because it doesn't take away from me you being successful.
Exactly. We're all about growing each other. And I think that's exactly, I think, what we should finish with, to be fair, because that is good advice. Bringing the way we bring our community together as well, of picking each other up. It's not about, well, they're being jealous, like you say. It's about being inspired and helping each other and giving each other confidence and growing each other and,
for sure,
and everything that comes with that.
And I think one thing that helped me, because there are people out there like that will pick you up, that will shout for you, that will celebrate you, and there's a lot of people that don't. So what I found really helps is we're all on our phones way too much, but can't help that sometimes. But just digital detox yourself. There's so many accounts I've unfollowed, and I'm so glad I'm not looking at it again. Like, just flashy in my car, like, get up and work hard. You're not working hard enough. Right? That doesn't really help me. No. So I'm going to follow people who are like, you want what I've got? Well, here's some secrets of my success, and this is what I've done.
Little voices, aren't they? Anyway? So they're change their little voices.
Just change what you follow.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they end up being them little voices in your head, don't they, of what you're scrolling through. So even something as simple as realizing what you are seeing on a day-to-day thing, whether that's on a screen, whether that's around the people that you hear and talk to.
There was a few accounts that I realized that every time I come across them, it annoyed me or it gave me that feeling. Unfollow.
Exactly. I like that.
Unfollow.
I like that. Unfollow.
bye. And that really helped. And then those accounts don't bother me anymore. Yeah. And then I'm following more that are inspiring and more that are uplifting and they're,
give you that
stuff.
more of a inspiring feeling,
more of a positive, mindset with things, and that it feels more aspirational and motivational. Like, I can get that too. Thanks.
Yeah. So don't feel pressured. Just know where you need to go and get it all out and get yourself.
Yeah. And a lot of that comes from not taking action. So we can feel behind because I really want that, but I actually haven't done very much to get there. And it might be because you don't have all the answers, but just little tiny steps of, right, well, if I want to be there at some point in my future, what can I do today? What's one little thing that I can do today, this week? And already you'll start to feel better because you're making strides. No matter how small the waves are, you're making your way there. And that takes a lot of that pressure off you when you feel like you're accomplishing things.
Like, again, I think it's a whole, general thing. It literally shifts that negativity mindset to more of a positivity mindset.
Yeah.
And that's doing all these little micro changes or whatever help.
But the truth is, we're in charge of our emotions. And if something else you're giving power to let bother you that much, then you need to be accountable of you're actually in charge of how you feel, and much better to feel positive and take small steps in trying to achieve something no matter what happens, and take the pressure of the outcome. Like, you don't have to get it done by next week or next month, but just little things that you can do, and distance yourself from whatever puts you in their moods.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think helps.
Agreed. Well, or just be real and post that you haven't got your this year calendar yet, because it made me feel better anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Be honest.
No, I think we definitely have got to a point where celebrities are showing a lot more vulnerability. Like, I feel like shit, or look at my roles. Yeah. This is how I actually look in real life, or, I'm feeling really crap this January. Yeah. Like, we're getting better at showing that stuff, but I think a lot of people still hide.
And it's okay to do feel like that and do those things. Like you say, it's just knowing how to go forward in making sure that you don't stay in those feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. So give yourself time to rest, but then kick yourself up the arse and move yourself on.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Well, thanks for joining us for another week. As always, please like, subscribe, comment. We love reading the comments.
We do.
Any questions you have, we'll be happy to shout you out.
We will.
And answer any questions. And please subscribe. A Charlotte heart. Oh no, I forgot. A K-pop heart. Bye guys.
Bye.